Hey everybody, it's Grant, and today we are finishing my largest project I've ever done. Back in July of 2020, I started this project. The reason it took a little over 13 months, because now we're finishing it in mid-August, is because we literally had to overcome every possible obstacle that could have been thrown at us. From a 100-year event that no one could have predicted, the illness started to cause a lot of problems to be able to find stuff, be able to find people that would be willing to work. In August, just really soon after we started building this project, we had one of the worst storms to ever hit the US. We had a hurricane that was a Category 4 that literally had gusts of wind over 185 miles an hour. This storm literally put a wrench in everything we did. We had a storm like this about 15 years ago called Hurricane Rita. If you remember Hurricane Katrina, Rita came in right after Katrina. Rita was actually a more devastating storm, but because Katrina broke the dams in New Orleans, it was national news everywhere. This storm was absolutely worse than both of them. Literally, this place was ravaged by 185 mile an hour gusts. Literally since the 1800s, a storm like this has not really happened since then. This was one of the worst hurricanes that have ever possibly hit the US shores, and it really didn't reach a lot of people when it comes to the television. After that, we had a flood, an ice storm, and literally any other obstacle you could think of. All the random weather has happened here in Lake Charles, Louisiana, and we just kept pushing. So before we actually go over the numbers of this project, let me tell you where the project started and where the project's headed. If you hear a little bit of noise and sounds of beeping and drilling and hammering, it's authentic. We're actually building 8 more apartments as well. That'll be future content for you, and I hope you'll enjoy it. This project actually started out with me buying a 4-plex with the concrete and ready land where the parking lots and the drive were already done to build 16 more units on here. That was phase 1 of this project, and now we're standing in phase 2, and you're hearing the hammering if it's coming through the mic on phase 3. So when this project's completely done, it's gonna be 21 units. Now, just these back 16 units, when I went to build them, appraised for $2.6 million. The appraisal for all 21 units is actually gonna be $3,459,750. My entire cost of this 21 unit project is going to be $2,381,000. That leaves me with a really healthy profit of $1,080,000. When I'm completely finished with this project, it's gonna cash flow $25,500 per month. Now that we've talked about the monthly cash flow, let's talk about the monthly expense. Now, the only reason I'm sharing all of this with you is to give you a bigger picture of what I'm actually trying to accomplish by taking on all this debt, stress, and a lot of effort. So when it's all said and done, my costs of all of these properties when they're actually finished will be around $15,700. That's going to include pest, property tax, insurance, vacancy, and all other miscellaneous like lawn care and all the other things that go into, running apartment complexes. Once it's all said and done, this will leave me with a $9,762 net profit, which will be very nice to add into the cash flow and reinvest into more properties. And per year, that's right at $117,000 and 144 bucks. When all 21 of these units are finished, which are the ones that we just finished, these 8, along with the new 8 that I told you about earlier and you've seen in previous videos, that'll bring my unit count to over 62 units. As far as doors that bring in rent, that's 62 that are gonna be going, and I'm very proud of that because I started this journey when I was 18 years old, built my first duplex at 19, built my first, what I would call a complex, at age 25 and finished at age 26. And here we are now where I'm 31 and we will be at over 62 units by the end of this year. Also, not only is it gonna bring us up to 62 units, but it's also gonna bring my monthly rents with these new 8 to over $66,000 a month. If only I got to keep all of that. And then when all of these 21 units are built and the shopping center that I showed you many months ago is rented, because you got to realize when you buy something, you need to take into account that it might not happen right away. For that shopping center, I said, as long as it rents within the year, it'll be worth it. And I'm putting my new juice business in there that I think you guys are really going to enjoy that concept and watching me build it. But That'll bring all of my monthly rents to $77,700 a month. Like I said, if only I got to keep all of that. When you take that $826,000 it took to build this property and you divide it by the 9,576 square feet, they're roughly a little under 1,200 square feet per property, you're gonna get a total per square build without land. Don't forget, that is without land. I put it in that first project that I have the fourplex in. It brings us to $86.25 per square foot. Some people say, that's unheard of. Are you kidding me? But when you build without brick and you build hardy plank, whenever you make sure that you use paint grade cabinets, when you use very quality but not expensive stone countertops, and you go with certain brands of appliances versus going with Frigidaire or whatever else, you can really get those projects down and allow them to be an affordable project for you and your builder. And also don't forget to try to work in that bulk deal, because by me building more projects with them in the future, it allows them to not have to make all of their money on that one build. If you're gonna build one duplex in your life and you wanna make it perfect, absolutely. But you can get a great quality product for an affordable price as you build more and you scale up over time. As always, I'm gonna be putting my minimum 20% down on this project, which is $165,200, and plus closing cost. I'm gonna be financing $660,000 on this project, and I'll also be doing a 20-year commercial loan at 4%, which is what my bank has allowed me to do, and it'll be a note just under $4,000 per month. Now keep in mind, anytime you do 5 units or more, you're gonna have to go with a commercial rate. This is 8, so that's why it falls into that category. Anytime you can go 4 or less, I always recommend doing a 30-year fixed mortgage. The big issue with doing a commercial rate, they'll go to 20 years. They require you to put 20% down on every project. But here's the thing, they also relook at your rates every 5 years to go with the current market. It's a bit of extra stress, and anytime you can go with a 30-year mortgage, it is way better to do that. The taxes will be around $5,000 per year, so that's $416 per month. The insurance will be about $3,800 per year, that's $316 per month. Now that's $3,800 just on these 8. Everything I'm talking about are on the new 8 I just finished. Pest control will be about $80 per month. Lawn care will be about $150 for these 8. And maintenance is covered for the first year when it comes to plumbing, electrical, and anything else that I'm gonna end up finding. But it will be very low after that because it is a new build. So let's say $150 a month between all of the units, because I rarely ever get a call. And I have a lot of units that don't have a whole lot of maintenance. Let's also use a vacancy rate at 5%. The rents will be $1,400 per unit, and they're 3-bedroom, 2-bath, so it's a great value. Multiply that by the 8 units that we're just finishing. That is a gross rent of $11,200 that's gonna go into the portfolio. And at 5% vacancy, that is $560. So now for these new 8 units, our total monthly expenses are gonna be $56,072. Our gross rents, as I told you, are gonna be $11,200, which leaves us with a healthy net profit of $5,528. That's just over $66,000 a year for me finishing this 8 units, renting them, and then going ahead and collecting on my profits. Now let's get into the 2 ways that I like to evaluate my properties. The first way is cash on cash return, and the second is going to be a cap rate. The reason I use cash on cash returns is because I want to know how long it's going to take me to get my down payment plus my closing costs back into my pocket to reinvest that into more properties. The reason I use cap rates is my audience tends to like them, and when I'm looking at not such a great deal when it comes to a shopping center or something that's a great, beautiful move-in ready project, I will go to a cap rate to ease my mind to figure out about how well the project will do. But typically, cash on cash is my favorite thing to figure out. To get the cash on cash return, you're gonna take that $173,200 down and you're gonna divide it by the net operating income of the actual property, the stuff that I take home before taxes. That is $66,336. When you actually take this and you divide these 2 together, you're gonna get a 2.6 years to actually return that cash back into my pocket. So as long as I keep this property 100% rented or that 5% vacancy that I factored in, I will be able to return that money back into my pocket to reinvest into more projects to make more content for you in the future. Some prefer cap rates. So if I was to purchase this property for what it was market value and what the gross rents will be, it would be around 8%. Now I'm using the numbers it took me to appraise it at, but this is virtually okay for anyone to use. You get this cap rate by taking the net operating income, which is $116,064 per year, and you divide it by the $1.5 million appraisal for just this set of 8 units. Like I told you, the 16 appraised for over $2.6 million, which what a great appraisal that came back at, and it still has room to grow. But as I said, that 8% was as if I was going to buy it. If you actually use my build numbers, the cap rate goes to well over 14%, which is an amazing cap rate. And I absolutely love that all the pain, all the sweat, all the tears, the storms, and all of the crazy stuff that happened to all of us in 2020 is paying off with a huge cap rate, an amazing cash on cash return. And that being said, that's it for the video, guys. If you enjoy videos like this, please power up that like button, hit that subscribe button, and notification bell. I post every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time, and I would love to see you there. We do giveaways, and at 90,000 subscribers, which we're getting really close, we're gonna give away $1,000, and wait till 100,000 subscribers, I'm gonna do something truly crazy. I hope you have a fantastic afternoon, and remember, I 100% believe in you. I know you can do anything you set your mind to, and never let anyone tell you any different. Hope you hit that notification bell, and I hope you subscribe to the channel, and I also hope to see you on the next one.